Cool. Hello, guys. I want to start by introducing you to Ali Jawad. Ali was born in Lebanon during the Civil War. He was born with no legs, and the doctors offered to dispose of him because he was broken. His parents flew him at a very young age to the United Kingdom to save his life, where he fell in love with sport, exercise, healthy living, and he went on to become a Paralympic silver medalist in Rio 2016. Welcome to Exercise, where we empower change in the disabled community. The problem is obvious. There are 1.2 billion disabled people on planet Earth, and they don't have access to the resource, knowledge, and opportunities that most of us do when it comes to healthy living and fitness. The market size is large. It's almost 10 billion, and the solution is Exercise. We're scientifically proven to permanently and positively change behaviors within the disabled community. We're already live in the UK, Ukraine, Malta, and the USA, and we're launching into Brazil this side of Christmas. Our solution is three main features. We have an exercise library, which is bespoke to each individual disability. So if you have one arm, your exercise presenter will also have one arm. It'll be scientifically valid for you and tailored to your level of exercise. Our social hub provides peer-to-peer support networking, which I'm sure we all know is crucial with retention in exercise. And the Explore function maps out over 56,000 venues around the world and ranks them based on how accessible they are to the disabled community. The team behind it are all world performers. Myself, I'm a 3-time world champion. Ali Jawad, my co-founder, is a Paralympic silver medalist and a 2-time world champion. Gigi used to run Strava down in Brazil, and Paddy is a professional athlete from America, and he's our US director. Our financials are to turn $1 million of revenue after year one of post-funding round, and that, as you see, very quickly grows to almost 130 million in year 4. Our go-to-market is directly to consumer predominantly, but we do have a B2B2C model with the NHS in the UK, insurance companies in the States and in Brazil, and we're working with the Brazilian government who are actually funding us to expand into Brazil nationwide in one go. Our customer acquisition is already at a highly scalable place. Most importantly to us is our 41% click to install. The industry average is around 15%, which just shows the need for what we're delivering to the disabled community. We've got over 8,000 downloads. We've got over 3,500 active users now. We're doing a lot of work with the veteran support into Ukraine. We've got the Brazilian government expansion. We've already incorporated into the USA and Delaware. We've already been scientifically validated and have got some amazing partnerships with Google Ireland, with Apple Europe, and really crucially for us is WellHub, which is the largest HR platform in the world with 12 million users. And we're currently raising 1 million British at a 3 million pre-money valuation, looking to exit in 5 to 7 years via a buyout. And that is Exercise. Thank you so much.
Quick 2 minutes for questions.
Love that.
Hi, my name is Anastasia Marquarde from Eversana. Actually, is more to say congrats for what you've achieved so far.
Thanks so much.
And more of a curiosity, so how difficult it would be for some existing telerehabilitation company or fitness company to go into this segment from more generic telerehabilitation to cover this segment as well? Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think the answer is kind of twofold. One is not super difficult in reality, but the practicality is very, very difficult. And we've seen quite a few major fitness brands try recently, very recently, and it got really bad feedback from the disabled community because when you're the largest minority group on the earth, you don't want to be an afterthought. So a fitness company saying, oh yeah, now we can have a little bit of disability content isn't good enough. And the disabled community don't buy into it and they don't want it. So it's not used. So we're entirely disability focused.
Hi, yeah. No. Hi, I'm Paul from Wiser Capital. 2 quick questions. Where are your current users based? I got Brazil and Ukraine. And the second question, are you partnering with prosthetic companies for distribution?
Yeah, so we're live in the United Kingdom, Brazil, soft launched into America, live in Malta, where we've got a partnership with the Paralympic Committee, and live in Ireland. And we're going to be live in Australia, New Zealand, Canada just after Christmas. In terms of prosthetics, a little bit. We're more working with prosthetic companies on how we can tailor specific exercises with their products to get the most benefit to their users. And then we're working more with the gym chains and fitness equipment providers for distribution. So we're actually currently in discussions about having QR codes on a major manufacturer where you scan it and it goes straight to our app with all the exercises on that machine to do that.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks so
Everybody,
much.
round of applause. Thank you. Next up for the second pitch, Christian Weist, CEO, iThera Medical. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll have a bit more hardware to show here, not only digital health, but actually currently still a big box. So what do? I'm representing iThera Medical, next generation biomedical diagnostic imaging. So every few decades, you have a diagnostic imaging modality come about. And in the 2020s, we believe it's the decade of multispectral optoacoustic tomography. And what does it do? What is unique about it is that it actually visualizes and quantifies soft tissue biomarkers in vivo. So it's a spectroscopic imaging techniques that allows you to differentiate and quantify tissue composition. So where is that used? Well, we think one of the biggest use cases is to assess muscle tissue. There's a lot of diagnostic techniques for the skin and obviously for deeper lying arteries, but let's say that actually the musculoskeletal tissue is a bit of a black box where there's nothing available. But yeah, what's the problem that we're trying to solve and where is that? It's actually, let's say, a range of diseases where we say we need a beachhead application, which is in peripheral arterial disease, the assessment of lower extremity revascularization. So in the cath lab, you have the interventional radiologist that doesn't know whether his procedure is successful and that sends the patient home. 30% come back because they don't know whether actually the revascularization led to a reperfusion of the muscle tissue, which is something that you would do with MSOT. And from there, you can go to other use cases in peripheral arterial disease, into other indications around perfusion oxygenation, and from there to other biomarkers like collagen, lipid, water, that are also associated with disease processes such as fibrosis, ischemia, inflammation. And why is that not already in the clinic broadly? We've been around for 15 years. We've done more than 50 million in sales, 150 systems sold worldwide. But as you can tell by the numbers, we're selling at 300,000 to 400,000 euros for the device, which is too expensive for routine clinical use. It's a 400-kilo device today. And it's a class 4 laser system, so you actually need all kinds of protective measures. Going forward, this will be 95% cheaper, and this brings all the major imaging players on board, particularly the ultrasound companies, because you can integrate it into an ultrasound device and now have spectral ultrasound. So you have B-mode, Doppler for flow, and you can have a spectral ultrasound on the right-hand side, all kinds of indications where this is complementary information to improve your diagnostic accuracy. We're currently raising 20 to 30 million to reach the next level, to really miniaturize the device, come down from 300,000 euros to 10,000, integrate into the ultrasound device, continue our FDA regulatory pathway, the de novo, continue the clinical validation, and then commercialization. Currently running at around 45 million in sales per year, but obviously wanting to kind of dramatically increase that with the diagnostic market penetration. Team is broad and experienced, medical, technical, myself as the CEO and founder. I think I just hit it.
You did.
Thank you.
Hands are up, so now we have two for questions.
Hi, is there anything similar being developed currently? Or how does the competitive landscape look like?
Sorry, could you please introduce yourself first?
Sure. Paul from Wiser Capital.
So, yeah, I mean, short question, maybe a longer answer. So the photoacoustic effect was discovered 140 years ago by the guy that invented the telephone, Alexander Graham Bell. So he found out that when you shine laser, kind of light pulses at some object, you receive an acoustic signal back. Took about 100 years for the first researchers to find out that you could do imaging with that, so in the 80s. So there are a lot of groups, hundreds of groups actually in the world that do photoacoustic research. We're the leader in the commercial arena, and there's only one other company that does clinical optoacoustics. And whoever does it still does it, let's say, the old school, meaning big solid-state lasers, tunable OPOs. And we're using basically an automotive mass component now, VCSEL diode from LiDAR systems that have similar energy densities, but are actually really 99% smaller. So it's now a 50-gram laser instead of a 70-kilogram laser. So there's no one that does that. And there's a handful of companies that does small animal imaging systems like we did already 15 years ago. So that's where we started, building mouse scanners, then clinical research. And now it's the time for clinical translation. But the miniaturization is, let's say, all ours now.
Okay, I think that's all the time we're going to have, just that one question. The time's up, but again, they can always ask you more questions outside.
Of course, hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you. Martina van der Gaar, Linksite.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to start with 3 examples to introduce the problems that we are addressing. First is waiting list duplication. Our healthcare system is trained. In order for patients to be helped as soon as possible, they register themselves at multiple healthcare providers. And what leads us that we don't know how many people are waiting for healthcare. This is a problem in mental health care, youth care, and elderly care. Another example, how do we know if a treatment is really effective? Is it really effective, or are we just shifting care? You only know that if you compare data and looking beyond the borders of your own organization. The third example is training AI models. Currently, generative AI trained by sensitive data is only 1%. The impact could be so much more if we could tackle that issue of privacy. These 3 examples tell us that we need insights out of data, and that is exactly what Linksite does. We enable to share insights while keeping the underlying sensitive data at the source. So for waiting list duplication, we solve that. We tell you exactly how many people are on the waiting list for your organization or for a region, while keeping data at the source. Same goes for effectiveness of healthcare treatments. We can connect the dots at a personal level per patient, but still give you an aggregated outcome to tell you, give you insights on this patient journey. And also for AI model training. Yes, we do train AI models on multiple data sets with federated learning, and we can do that by with privacy-sensitive data. And the technology that we use for that is encryption technology. Encrypted data as specific that it is only machine readable and it stays encrypted while doing calculations with the data. Only the outcome is shared. As Linksite, we provide these safe and secure data collaborations. You don't need to copy the data anymore to any third party. We can cut out that middle layer. With Linksite, we give organizations the ability to keep data at the source and keep full control over that data. Only they decide what is being done with it. And it's also not being shared with Linksite. Linksite started actually as a cooperation between public, private, and healthcare organizations, and currently we have over 30 organizations in our network. Really diverse group. We have GPs, but also insurance company, hospitals, working with pharma. And I started with 3 examples, and these 3 examples are just the beginning of what is possible. The room here is filled, actually the whole floor is filled here today with many great healthcare startups. And what we all have in common is that we need data to improve our product. We need data to show the effectiveness of the product. And they all need Linksite to make that possible. Thank you.
Stop you right there. Yes, good. 2 minutes now for questions from the floor, from the judges.
Dijsra Nober, investor. What is the business model around behind this?
Our business model is based on corporate licenses for organizations to do the analysis on. So we have a B2B license model.
Hi, Katrina from Exceptional Ventures. I have a question about the data. How clean does the data have to be? And what kind of data are you facing to make this whole system work?
Oh, two questions. How clean does the data need to be? Well, of course, as clean as possible. But cleaning data is actually a preparation step for customers to do. We tell them to get started because you don't know what is really valuable data at the beginning. And during that process, you find out which analyses are leading to real insights for you. And you can focus on improving the quality of the data from those needed for those insights. What kind of data? Mostly tabular data at the moment, but we're also working with unstructured data and also with the LLMs, etc. So it can be any kind, but mostly now tabular data.
I don't think
think
there's
that's
enough
it.
time for any.
Thank you.
Thank you. Round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you. Next up, Giorgio Copahili, co-founder, CEO, Magic Horizons. Welcome to the stage.
Hi, welcome. Can everybody hear me? Okay, great. I'm Giorgio from Magic Horizons. What do we offer and whom can we help? It's calming and less stress for patients. We do distract them from anxiety and pain through virtual reality, and therefore we are a CE certified medical product. Additionally, we have a second vertical, that's the seniors. We have virtual trips for them, and we have mental health and activation exercises. Plus, we have the double strategy for the precious staff, so we can offer them short briefers for employee well-being as well. The advantage of Magic Horizons virtual reality is you are completely distracted from the outside. We use the feeling of presence and immersion. This is all based on scientific research, and we have strong research partners like Humboldt University or King's College London, NHS Cambridgeshire, and the University of Southern California. Magic Horizons is a CE certified medical product, class 1. Our product consists of 85 VR applications, which we all create. We are the only one worldwide who is offering real nature 360. You no longer see a movie about dolphins, you swim with them, and you are distracted from pain, sorrow, and the cold hospital atmosphere. But we also have the binaural audio waves, modeling brain waves, delta waves for better sleep, and gamma waves for new energy. We have interactive training, mental health options like number training, kinesiology, and many more, and a lot of voice-driven content like sleeping aids, meditations, and many more. Plus, we create our own unique VR platform. For hospital and care homes, we have ready-to-go playlist in under 60 seconds. The system is ready to go, and they range from deep relaxation to gain new energy. We have more than 150 training units. You should use them 3 times a week due to Humboldt University, and you can control what's happening in the classes for the doctors and the staff with Android and iOS tablet remote. Our B2B customers are famous clinics like the Mayo Clinic in the US. We are now admitted to deliver our software to the US veterans, the Charité Berlin, big health insurances, and also a lot of companies in the care home sector. Now we are looking for a growth round of 2 million euros by an evaluation of 10 million, especially to expand our sales activities in the US. Thank you very much for listening.
Any questions? 2 minutes on the clock.
Hi, Paul here from Wiser Capital. 2 quick questions, if possible. First one, are you device agnostic, or which VR device are you using? And secondly, how is these customers translating into revenue?
So we are completely device agnostic. We work on Pico, on Meta devices, And we have subscription models. Most institutions don't have their VR glasses yet, so we have subscription models, soft and hardware bundles, but now we have the first customers, especially in the US, who own these devices, and then it's just pure software subscriptions. And we exhibit, so everybody is invited to dive into the magic worlds of Magic Horizons.
Katrina from Exceptional Ventures. Could you tell us a bit more about the competition landscape you're in?
Yeah, sure. We have only one competitor who is admired also to deliver to the US veteran, that is Mind from the US. We won all pitches from King's College to the Mayo Clinic because we have this holistic approach with the wide range of applications. You can use it yourself, plus this unique own VR platform developed with our customers. And this combination makes us very strong, and we are growing very fast to offer this wide range. The youngest patients are 10-year-old children in children oncologies, and the oldest ones are around 100 years old, and they all can, it's very easy to use, self-operate our system.
Okay, thank you. I think we're out of time right now for the questions.
Thank you.
Round of applause, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Florian Rochler, CVO Medical Cooling.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here. Let's close it and start the timer. Thank you for having me. We're the change. Nosotros somos el cambio. Nosotros somos el cambio. Imagine your heart beats like that, and then it doesn't. It's over. From one moment like that, in a different moment, your heart dead, and it might look like this. Can you imagine that? It could happen to everyone, like from 18 until 80. So what to do about it? We've got 3 simple steps. Number 1, the challenge. Number 2, the research. Number 3, the action. It's the urgency of a targeted temperature management after cardiac arrest with immediate, portable, and effective cooling. We already have this, but in different sizes and in different devices. Like 1, 2, 3, it's too much. The research, exploring research data, available but complex, non-portable solutions, on research on hypothermia on pigs and humans. Number 3, what are we doing about that? We've got a unique 5-in-1 compact modular and portable device with a TAM of approximately $1.5 billion per annum. The challenge, a plethora of cardiac arrests worldwide. First-person experience of paramedic Fabian Temmer, our CEO. He experienced it, he felt it, and he made a decision to change it. Every minute of delay in temperature management decreases chances of survival and recovery in approximately 3 to 10% at all without these TTM. Number 2, the research. Medical research increases on this topic. It's 70+ studies, all pointing in our direction in what we want. It's a high mortality and poor neurological outcomes. Only 10%, if you read other studies, 3 to 10% experiencing favorable recovery without this cooling treatment. So reduces survival rate. Therapeutic hypothermia increases chances of survival significantly. These are our charts. Left is bad, right is good. Left is bad, right is good. So this is where it starts, up there, and it goes like down there within 6 hours. So it's about this time frame we need to take action. Left is bad without treatment, and I want to see it like this to change lives. Cooling below 36 degrees, it's a surplus. It gives you a survival rate of about 24.4%, which is an increase of about 144%. Cooling in a hospital already takes place, but only 1 in 5 patients in Germany. Number 3, the action. We have found a company, we've got fundraising, we are still doing this. We need funds, we need investments, we need grants. We need to do some more research and picks. We have already produced a prototype, and we need to carry out more clinical trials, and we need to engage with the medical community. We already do this, we are very well connected. So this is something like what we have now. These are some different prototypes.
Sorry, we have to stop you there. We've gone over the time, just barely. And now you have 2 minutes, a little under 2 minutes for questions. Okay?
But I still have some left. Oh, I'm over, okay.
For the questions now.
Any questions, anyone?
Hi, Paul from Wiser Capital. How are you planning to distribute your product into the clinics?
Into the clinics, we are very well connected. We go into the clinics, we are providing a new network, interconnecting and going directly to the clinics to talk to those people. We are looking for strong partners and supporting us there, but we are humble enough to do the hard work and to do the dirty work for ourselves.
And who's your contact person at the clinics?
We will find out in each and every clinic for ourselves, and then we will get directly to that person and to talk to them.
Only 15 seconds. Quick question.
How much time until you go to market, as an estimation?
2 to 3 years. When you give us $5 million right now, right here. We're pretty fast. We've got all and everything. We just need money to produce it, and we need money for some more certification. Then we're good to go. And we're doing this out of the goodness of our hearts in service of humanity.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, Marcus Müller, co-founder, CEO, NuiCare.
Welcome to Nui. We are here to revolutionize home care as we know it today. Did you know that in Germany alone there are about 8 million family caregivers taking care of a loved one at home? Unfortunately, home care is incredibly demanding. That's why nearly 50% of them suffer from mental health challenges, and they spend an average of 49 hours weekly on caregiving. I've been a voluntary hospice caregiver since 8 years now, so every week I go to a family where a loved one is nearing the end of life, and those experiences have inspired me to start Nui. But that's not my first venture. In 2002, I started Ubitex, a company that led to become the European leader in mobile device management before we sold it to BlackBerry in 2011. I joined BlackBerry as part of this transition and then eventually became CEO of the European business. I left in 2015 and then co-founded AirUp, a company which has since scaled to over 200 million euros in revenue and 350 employees worldwide. So when I first encountered the challenges of family caregivers, one story really stood out, and that was Evelyn's. Evelyn was 60 years old, and she took care of her husband, Günther, who was in the late stages of dementia. He couldn't talk, he couldn't walk, and he required 24/7 care. And to provide that care, Evelyn sacrificed her social life entirely. The challenges she had to face was about knowledge. She had to learn how to treat one with dementia. She also had to learn how to apply for financial support, something she had never done before. And all that stress on top of the emotional toll of seeing a loved one fade away. That was too much for her, and she is not alone. That's why we created Nui, a digital companion for family caregivers. With Nui, Evelyn can now access an AI-based chatbot to ask all her care-related questions. But Nui is just much more than just a chatbot. It's a comprehensive support system with more than 16 individual features that offer emotional support and care advice. The market for digital companion for family caregivers is huge and growing. The obtainable market for Nui is about 150 million euros in Germany alone. We want to achieve that by bringing 500,000 active families onto our platform. Currently, we have 10,200 active users, so some way to go. Our go-to-market strategy is focused on strategic partnerships with large organizations, and as you can see, we already have some significant traction with some of the largest health insurance providers in Germany. 2024 was an exceptional year for us. We've grown our ARR from 50,000 last year to 1.15 million euro this year, and we're shooting for 5 million euro ARR next year. And we're right now raising a pre-Series A round for 2.5 million euro. Thank you.
Thank you for staying within the 3 minutes. And now you have 2 and change for the questions. Come on, raise your hand.
Hi, Paul here from Wiser Capital. Where are the 5 million revenues coming from next year?
From existing contracts, we already have 1.15 right now, and with more active users, we get more revenues. So the plan is 2.5 million come from existing contracts, and then another 2.5 from new contracts. We're currently pitching to, we're talking to almost all insurances in Germany right now, very close with 2 more AOKs and one organization that covers 35 health insurances.
Thank you.
Thank you. How big is your team right now?
25 people, so 19 full employed and 6 freelancers.
And which part of them involved in the sales process for signing new contracts?
3.
Perfect, thank you.
Mostly it's tech people. I mean, we're a tech company. We have 5 care experts that have the care expertise, which obviously we need. And then you have product, marketing, and so on. Do you want to ask the competition question? No, just kidding. Yeah, well, yeah, okay. I shouldn't have asked, maybe. No, there's actually one company in Germany. It's called Fabel. They are pretty much a copycat and are a little bit behind us. And there are a few companies in the international markets, so we want to expand into other markets next year. There's one company in the US called Diana Care. They're pretty similar to us. They sell through employers in the US, which we would also prefer over insurances. So there are a few companies out there. I mean, nobody does exactly what we do, but they tackle the problem from different angles.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. And finally, we have Sabine Loet, CEO, Science Pod.
Thank you. So good afternoon, last but not least. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how to effectively engage with your healthcare audiences. And that's an issue that's concerning pretty much everyone in the audience. A bit of background before I start is information theory tells us that to effectively engage with your audiences, you need consistency and repetition. The issue today is that the kind of people you're trying to target do not have time. We're in an attention economy, healthcare professional, patient, payers, nobody has time to listen. So how do we solve this problem? Basically, we disrupt the way you source your content to communicate with your audiences by structuring the market, and we also disrupt the kind of content that your audiences receive from you. How do we do that? It's very simple. We take your evidence and we turn it into bite-sized messages, bite-sized stories in text, in video, in infographic, and in podcast format. So our ambition is to master the content creation value chain, and we do it in 2 ways. We already have a creative content factory, and we've learned it from all the best practice from the publishing industry, the science publishing industry, taking all their quality assurance system. And we're currently fundraising to extend this service by adding a distribution channel in the form of a content hub, highly targeted using AI and web technologies. As you can see from this graph on the left, there's a healthy double-digit growth forecast for the digital content creation market. And in the healthcare sector alone, we have a TAM of 60 million. you can see from this slide now that back from our humble beginning in 2015, we've evolved from proof of concept to proof of value, pivoted in 2023 when AI hit our industry, and now we're preparing for the next 3 years to weave into our existing content creation process AI technology, to upskill our global community of content creators who are specialist content creators in science, medicine, and technology, and give them AI prompting skills, and then finally develop our content hub. As you can see, we already have traction by selling directly to pharmas, and we have a very well-established footprint in the science publishing industry. Our team is an exceptional team. They are all trained working for global organization or global life science corporate, tech corporate, and they're the one to realize our ambition.
Sabine, we got to stop right there with the presentation. Sorry about that. I apologize.
That's okay. Questions?
Now we have 2
Anyone?
minutes for questions, right?
So this is my last slide.
Yeah, you can.
In the front.
Hey, thanks for the presentation. Anastasia Marquardi from Eversana. So could you elaborate a bit more about the core product itself? So how does it differ from like agencies providing services to pharma or ChatGPT or agencies using ChatGPT?
So very good question. The incumbent are the medcoms agencies, and they tend to produce long-form content, and they haven't fully harnessed the capabilities that AI technology can bring to us to create short-form content that's perfectly suited to address busy healthcare professional, busy patient, busy payers. So the differentiation is in twofold: in the addition of an AI layer in the content creation that saves 30% in the delivery of the content in terms of time, and also in the fact that we make audience-appropriate format, which are short form, and the traditional agencies are not very good at these sort of things. More questions? Great. So I think we... one more?
About 20 seconds. Please make it a quick question. We'll do.
How are you acquiring customers?
We have direct sales, and we also have a channel partnership with MarTech agencies, platforms, and with medcoms agencies, because they realize that they don't do the short form as well as we do. Thank you.